Welcome today to another episode of TradeSmith.io. Today, I am going to try to do something and attempt to make the trading and the whole investment ecosystem a lot easier to understand. So, welcome today. I want to go through just a quick example of what I plan to do. My name is Marcus Smith. I'm with TradeSmith.io. I just want to remind you that this channel, I am just a tech guy trying to make it easier to understand the technology behind the investment tools. And I do have a history of working in the DevOps space and definitely building technology. And one thing I realized that as a lot of traders are learning how to trade in this coming year and even the previous year, is how to make it a lot more simpler. And in technology, we use this model to make things a lot simpler for us. So you're out there and you're trading and you're actually clicking on these buttons and you're seeing all these analytics. It's managing your finances. It's actually giving you the higher highs and lower lows, and you're learning all this new terminology. And it can be very overwhelming as a new investor, and you're getting barraged with all of these different parts of the application that you're using. In development operations, we use this thing called the OSI model, and it helps us to really break things down into a simple layer or a stack of information. Of course, when we're looking at building, just like you're working to build a trade, you're looking at it like a construction worker. You're trying to build something, whether it's wealth or more time, a way of life, a new lifestyle. But at the end of the day, you got to begin to dissect all of these pieces of the trade or investing and come up with your own stack. And really, I want you to look at all of these items. And I know in development, we get hit with all of these different technologies, these different pieces, but we look at each piece as a separate tool for the job. So when we go into looking at trading in layers, I want you to consider at as we begin to look at these layers, I want you to consider what tool or what part of the trade that you really want to consider. And of course, when we do break this down into layers, if we want to really understand it, we know that number one, you got to set a goal. Then you got to select the vehicle that you want to put your money in. And then, of course, there's your style of trade, which kind of gives you that blueprint of how you want to trade. You got to have a plan that you're going to stick to, because if you don't have a plan, you're going to kind of go off the rails there. And then, of course, there's selecting the actual tools that it'll take to maintain and build that investment. And in layers, there's another thing that I want you to consider. There's time. So there's short term investing or short term trading, and then there's long term trading. So we already got kind of the framework of the stack, and I think that's important because we know that these are the different layers of our house, so to speak. But I want to go into some of the insides of this and kind of break down each layer. When we talk about setting your goal, another thing is understanding that you have an income goal that you want, whether you're trying to earn just some money to begin to trade more, or if you want to make some type of passive income where your money is kind of working for you. And then there's compound interest or compound income that you get as you begin that get that money year over year. And that's definitely a factor. And then selecting your vehicle, there are many vehicles that are out there. We won't go into each one of them, but it's important to kind of use this layer, use this chart to kind of help you understand. If you're doing a short-term trade, there are some things that can move quicker, and then there's some things that move a little bit longer, like a 401k or even sometimes dividends. You look at that as a year over year. And then there's the style of your trade. Now, there's a few styles that lend themselves to being more short term. Some styles are more long term. So you have the short term styles of fractional investing or fractional share trading. And then you got all the way down to more of the long term where you got growth investing. So we'll get into those later, but this is really, again, giving you the layers, and it's up to you to kind of look at what stack works for you in your financial position, and actually making sure you review your trading plan. So on the planning level, there's where you constantly looking at your strategies and patterns. What is your weekly or your daily routine? how do you find your stocks, managing your risks, managing the trade, and also journaling. So all of those in this area is really dealing with how much time do you really need to invest inside of working some type of income or getting your money to work for you. So some people, day traders, may work daily for some work 30 minutes, some work an hour, but long-term investors may only look at it once a month. So it depends on what type of vehicle and what type of investment style you're doing. And then at the bottom here is really where, and no matter what trade, I kind of call it the foundation of what I'm really focused on. And that's, again, looking at all of the technology and the investing tools that are there. This is where TradeSmith.io is really focused at, where when you're selecting those tools, it's good to know that sometime when you're selecting a tool, it may not match. It may be a tool that's more designed for something long term, or a tool that's designed for something short term. So it's good to kind of know where the tool lie within the ecosystem. So this is kind of where I would like to focus my bread and butter and my time and really helping different traders, especially new and experienced traders, understand how some of these technologies work. So I wanted to really just share that for you. And I wanted to make sure that if you're new to this channel, definitely like and subscribe. We will be going over more of this in the future. I will be going over different tools, all the items that are at the bottom. So books and trainings, productivity apps to help you keep your routine, scanners and screeners, understanding the difference between those, level 1 and level 2 quotes. Of course, that's more in hotkeys. That's more for, fast, quicker trades, but that's very big. Brokers, Robinhood, using a mobile app versus a platform, and understanding the difference, and then also trade journaling. So I'd like to thank you for your time. Again, like and subscribe on this channel, and I will definitely keep in touch.
You need a tagline at the end.